Welcome to our fifth podcast on this Fireside Chat series. In this session, we will continue talking about inflation and how low-income families can handle this. We all know that the inflation already did damage, especially to low-income families who do not have assets and equities to benefit the inflationary environment over the last several years.
I saw many news reports about this being a nightmare for many low-income families. Climbing prices for gas, food, and services are hitting middle and low-income households the hardest. This is because middle and low-income families do not own as many assets, unlike the rich. What should these families do?
I think this is the right time for low-income families or young people who do not have much savings to think about investments. Some might believe that investing requires a large amount of money, time, and extensive knowledge, but actually online apps and investing tools will work around those challenges. Low-income or young people who do not have much savings can start with much smaller dollar amounts. David, you have any other suggestions?
I agree that investment is a good way to hedge against inflation if you could have over 8% annual return, which is higher than the inflation rate this year. For these families and people, they don't have as many savings, so my recommendation would be to find the right balanced investment objects that are safe and have relatively okay returns.
Yes, for low-income families, they have to balance the investments between return and risk. I would suggest they look at safe investments first and learn some basic knowledge and skills, starting with some good mutual funds with some good historical return and less risks when the stock market crashed in the past. I recommend you could go to your local bank and ask if they offer some balanced fund that you could invest in. You could also search online for some of the large mutual funds and their offerings. For example, one of the balanced funds with a history of stable returns above the rate of inflation is Vanguard Wellesley Income Fund. This 40-year-old fund has averaged 9.7% since its inception in 1970.
Great ideas. Another way is to look at some of the famous investors' holdings, such as Warren Buffett's. It would be very helpful for some new investors when they start looking for ideas. Absolutely avoid putting money in risky equities. I think this is a wrong strategy.
I agree. I don't think low-income families should invest in risky assets such as crypto coins, meme stocks, etc. Instead, you should look at some 5 to 10-year-old investable equities that had steady returns over time.
That is a great idea. I think we should provide some more thoughts on how to look for stock ideas for these families who want to put a small money in the stock market.
That will be our next podcast. Thank you for watching. Follow us for the next video. Have a great day.